Hi, so we're going to review the ADT uh, stock today. So, as you guys know, today there's some news that Google bought some stock in ADT, and so that's why, as you can see, that has jumped almost from some $8 to there's a huge see this one. It's a huge gap up, right? And as you can see, the morning it opened around 1389, and then it went all the way up to 1721. So one thing you can observe is, as it's going up, the volume has been declining. You can see this the volume on this one, and this one. It's declining volume. Okay, and meaning the demand is not that strong as expected. Even though there is a cap up, demand is not as expected. And then what happens? And then the supply comes up here. So this is where the supply comes up, and this is where there was a huge fight between buyers and sellers. You know, the volume. Look at the volume. See this one. With this huge volume, it kind of did not go anywhere. It kind of stuck around this inside of this previous bar, but it did not even test the highs. Meaning sellers are more pronounced compared to buyers, especially if it closed on towards the lower end of the lows, right? So a lot of people bought, and I'm guessing that a lot of people thought that it will still go up, and then they bought it here, and then those people, a lot of people stuck. So as it comes down, you see that good widespread bars. So meaning there is a good strong supply. So not so strong demand, strong supply. So at this stage, right, there's nothing that you make of it, or there's no trade. Actually, it's just that you're understanding that there is a the sellers are on the stronger side compared to buyers. And as it goes up, right, see, as it goes up, and so see this, when it starts testing around this area, there is a huge lot of supply. Look at the demand, look at the volume. It is the highest 5-minute volume bar in the entire day. In fact, the entire day, even the entire day after that. Meaning what? When it came to test around this area, there is a huge supply. A lot of people sold out, right? So I think the people who bought it here, they sold out here. So at this stage, right? So this is where I am turned bias. At this stage, still there is no trade. This is a very volatile stock, so we have to be extra careful, see much more. So, but at this stage, you are biased. You can think that okay, there is a selling, there is a huge selling happening, and so you're biased to a short trades. I'm looking for a short trades around this area, around this area, or around this area. If it comes all the way up, so we don't know what will happen after this part, right? So it can go all the way up. We don't know. So we trade. Uh, we don't estimate. We don't guess things. We trade depending on how the bars themselves place themselves. We don't expect. Okay, yeah, now it's gonna go drop or it's gonna go up. As you can see, the next almost 1 hour from 7:35 until here, there is a huge choppy flow. The bar goes up, closes in the middle. Bar goes up, closes in the middle, close up in the middle. It kind of goes nowhere, slowly kind of goes up, and then this bar happens. See, look at the volume. Huge volume happens. Where does it happen? Around this supply level, around this selling level, where previously a huge amount of selling has happened. That, and sellers are proving again and again. Sellers are proving here, sellers are proved here, sellers are proving here. So at this stage, when this happens, you can take a shot, right? Because it has repeatedly proved weak demand. There is little buying here, and then this is where you can take a shot. And then where would your target be? So there are three levels. First thing is this low, but this one we could expect this time it would break, because of this thing, because this bar huge volume. Or the next one was this one. This is where I was targeting, and then the last one was this one, the morning low. So as it starts, so what is this one? Like this close is around 1474. This low is around 1378. So almost a $1 target. So we are targeting $1 profit, right? So it starts going down. So this like in 3 bars as it's rapidly see this volume in this bar down volume as it is rapidly coming up. I have removed my short limit here, basically the cell limit here, and then moved it to this one, the next support, and this happens, and then then what happens next? It kind of goes on the sideways after 3 4 bars, like you're tired, you don't want to be be holding all that long and then expecting this to, it may come or it may not come. So but you could sell in one of these 3 bars, depending on how patient you are. So that is how you can target it. So it's a good trade, so it's almost, you if you have bought it around 40.74, you're selling around 13.62, even if you close it around, so it's almost more than a dollar. It's a good trade. And what happens after that? So this one held here, it starts going up again, not a strong solid moves up, right? So there's this one demand that came up here, see this one bar, it's a good volume bar, and then nothing happens. And then supply comes up again, see, look at the long spread bar, wide spread bar. So and then this bar prints, what is this bar? This is a spring. Basically spring means bullish nature. When I say spring, it means that it went underneath the support and then closed above that, meaning that it tried to go underneath, it couldn't find any buyers, sorry, it couldn't find any sellers, and then it closed above. So this is basically bullish in nature. So would you take a trade here? No, we wouldn't take a trade here, because we trade basing upon the context. You take trades when the background is demand, background is buying. What is here? What is the background here? And the background is all selling. So I wouldn't want to take a trade against, I wouldn't want to go against all these people, right? A lot of people are selling, I wouldn't want to go. So that's why, but your understanding is important. Okay. So the thing is, the aim of the spring is to take out the next, the previous swing high. So the target of this spring should be taking away this one, breaking out the spring and then going above that. But what happens here? So it's a choppy move up, as you see that, as you see the volume here, as it starts going up and it's declining. Not a good demand as you expected after a spring, after a good bullish factor. So what happens again? Comes here, closes in the middle. So where does this happen? At the selling down. This is all selling, right? So at the selling area, closes down with a huge volume. Then what happens here? Again, 3 bars, it kind of holds this level. See this one, now you understand that the demand is holding at this level. Would I take a trade? I would not still take a trade, because nothing in the buying side tells me that it is buyers are in strong demand. If there was huge volume, like like going underneath and then closing above, yes, that is a demand coming up. Here demand is not proving itself. Sellers are proving, but just sellers are tired after this. They are not, like, the volume is not much. So what happens after this? A choppy up move. When I say choppy, you see that narrow bars and then it's closing in the middles. It almost takes more than an hour to go all the way up to the resistance level. Nothing. You are not taking a long here, or you don't take anything here. You just sit on the sidelines, just wait for the trade to come to you. Do not force your trade on you. So this bar gets printed. What happens? What is the attention factor for you? Now you are in like dull mode, all this choppy mode, right? So the volume is a easier trigger factor. When you see such wide, huge volumes, suddenly that should be your trigger point. Hey, something is happening now. So at this level, you see that the buyers tried to push above, but selling happened. Sellers came strongly and then pushed below with an increasing volume. This is where you can take a shot. Why would you take a shot here? Because of the choppy up move, right? Because of selling in the background, because there is no demand, there is no one buying. So that's why you take a shot here. You take a shot here, and where is your target? Your red one is your target, right? So as it comes down here, it comes down here, and this is where you can hold on until this bar where it gets touched, where it touches this support. But you could exit here in this bar too, depending on how patient you are. Typically, I wait for like 2 3 bars and then get out of this thing. get out this one. So one of these bars you can get out. That's fun. So in fact, actually, this is kind of a counter trend most, because I mean, when I say counter trend, because the overall the gap up is a huge. Like a lot of people are expecting bullish in nature, but in fact, at the end of the day, it proved itself as bearish in nature in the entire day. So the Wyckofian play will give you such clear moves if you wait patiently. So reading of these bars will so you don't need to take it short here, you don't need to take a shot here. But if let's say that if you're blindly, let's say that you're expecting, okay, yeah, this is gonna move up, right? If you have, let's say that you bought here in one of these areas, right, expecting it to be rallying up, if you read these bars, right, at least you would know this is your exit points. At least you would know, okay, the sellers are strong here, buyers are weak here. You would know that to exit here, so that you wouldn't be waiting like an up move or something like that. So yeah, you don't need to take a shot. At least reading these bars and charts, volume, price and volume, you only need two things: price and volume, nothing else, to be able to know where these touch points are, how the potential action may happen. All right, that's it. Thank you guys. Bye.